Hello, everybody. You are looking live at a spectacle, tremendous setting here in the Dunbar community in the beautiful Clemente Park, which has become one of the best looking parks in all of Fort Myers. So many people over the years have worked to make this park become what it has become. I remember when this park was in its early stages of being developed, and the Black History Museum was brought over here in the early 1990s. Right here we have Janice, one of the founders of the Lee County Black History Society. We also have Gayla James, an outstanding gospel singer, R&B type gospel. She does all twists on gospel music, has one of the best-selling CDs and EPs out there, and she came out here to sing today, and she actually lives and grew up here in Dunbar. So we're so glad to get her over here and finally meet the legendary Janice, which I was surprised was not familiar with her. Ladies, this is your year. Get your mic up, Janet. You got a female running for president of the United States of America. And we are out here as souls to the polls.
That's right.
When it comes around to voting and exercising your constitutional rights, Janice is going to be somewhere around. She is a political animal. Janice, how did you get such affinity for the right to vote and people voting? That's been a part of you since you've been a little girl?
Actually, it has. My parents were very involved in what was going on in the world. I'm a child of Jim Crow, Lee. I grew up during segregation. I graduated from a segregated high school. So as a result of that, I had personal experiences being separated from the majority community here in Fort Myers where I grew up. And I knew how important it was from the adults that I was around to try to get elected officials in who showed some concern for our interests. So yes, I realized the importance of it, and being a student of history too, I understand the significance and the sacrifices that people have made.
Yeah. Janice, this park I mentioned earlier, you remember the days when this park was not as respected as it is today. It has really become something to be proud of, hasn't it?
Tremendously. I have to commend the city on the efforts that it made to improve this area. If you go really far back, years ago, there used to be a line of businesses from Ford all the way down here to Henderson, and the property was acquired by the city. We were fortunate. Black History Society was fortunate when this area was owned by the county. We were able to get in on the ground floor when the library, Jupiter Hammond Library, was getting ready to move to its present location on Blunt Street, and we were able to acquire those office buildings and have some land to bring our building for our museum. So yeah, early stages when none of this was here.
Yeah, come a long ways. Gayla James, Janice, you can get on her about this. Gayla told me that she went and voted, but she did not vote for anybody for president. She said she didn't care for either one of them, and she cared a little bit for each one. Tell her she need to be voting.
No, I voted.
Old school. She voted for the local election.
That really is. I find that so amazing that anybody who has seen Donald Trump, seen how he acts, the words that he uses, the way he denigrates people all the time, constantly. He's not a role model for children. He's not an example for very much of anything else. And these are the two choices. One is an intelligent, qualified black woman who's been a district attorney, an attorney general, a United States senator, who talks about joining the communities together and people
Get on
undecided it. I can't understand why anybody would be undecided.
Tell her your
As
logic.
I said earlier, I grew up as a child of Jim Crow. When people were still demanding their right to vote, when people were still being killed, when they were talking about registering to vote, when people didn't really have any candidates to vote for. They might have voted for the candidate that did not get on television and denigrate black people. because that's what they used to do. They used to get on, politicians used to get on TV and create this scare, the threat of black people and what animals we were. So we voted against that, or I should say my parents voted against that. I remember walking the street when the voting age was not 18, and they were sending young men to Vietnam, but they couldn't vote. They couldn't buy a drink, but they could go and die fighting for somebody else's freedom. And then we get a man that gets up and says he wants to be a dictator, who insults our allies and embraces dictators, who denigrates everything and everybody. All of the people who worked for him in the past are talking about him now and saying what a threat he is to American democracy.
Don't get the Black Panther started.
Oh. No.
She's a school bus driver for the district as well. Go ahead, tell her why why.
I can't bear to hear it, Lee. I can't bear
It's some
to
things
hear
I
it.
don't want to say on camera. I feel like everybody, thank God that everybody got their own rights to vote, who they want to vote for.
Or not.
And I think that's very important. And I appreciate Camilla and being a black woman and representing women. Yeah, I appreciate her. But I have my own views. It's some things I disagree with him. Some things I disagree with Trump. So I'm staying neutral, and that's my opinion. And I'd rather not go into depth with it. That's what I believe.
Go get them.
I'm not against people expressing their opinions. I'm all for that, which is why I'm for democracy. But what Trump is representing is threatening the lives of people who express an opinion that's different from him. Just like DeSantis, threatening the employment opportunities for people who disagree with him. We've just experienced 2 major hurricanes, and in Florida, you can't even talk about climate change or the environment. And Florida is all about the environment. I mean, some things are, everybody has a right. Yeah, I'm going to try to influence people to vote what I think is in the interests of the United States and the interests of everyday people. I'm going to always do that, and I respect people's rights to their own personal opinion. But right now, I feel like America is at a crossroads.
Yeah.
It's at a real challenge in American society. Are we going to continue to be that beacon on the hill? Are we going to continue to be a free society? Or is some man going to get in again and round up people like he did before, but on a much larger scale? He's talking about rounding up legal aliens. In the past, when there was slavery in the United States, free black people used to get rounded up. How are we going to prove that we're American citizens? I got to walk around with my birth certificate now? What? And why should I have to do that?
I think you have a big problem with that whole homosexuality stuff of Pam, right?
Well, I don't want to say that. I have my own opinion on my own religious belief, but I do have a problem with the border. I do have a problem with it, and I feel like they should close the border.
I have a problem with the border too. I hate seeing those thousands of people trying to rush through there.
Yeah.
But saying that I'm not going to vote for one person because of the border, and it don't even impact my personal life.
No, I'm not saying just because of the border.
When my tax dollars get sent to Texas.
It's not just because of the border.
My tax dollars have been sent to Texas, and then they don't want to be spent in Florida helping poor people. We got a governor that passed a law making it illegal for counties to pass rent control laws, but he's sending the National Guard to Texas to help secure the border. We got 3 borders.
Woo! This is supposed to have been a souls to the pole conversation. I done got the OG Janice going. We get Janice going.
I'm just really passionate.
I'm sticking to what I know gospel.
Let's talk souls to the pole.
Too scary.
You got up there and you sang a couple of songs. How excited are you about today's Souls to the Polls?
I love that I can express how I feel with my music, and that was all about with me. I'm out of this politician stuff. I'm just focused on gospel, and that's what I do. I'm singing from my heart. I wrote all my songs, and I just want to reach people, because if my music doesn't touch lives and the message of the song doesn't reach people, I don't want to sing anymore. So that's very important to me, to get that message out, because it's so many certain type of various music out there. But my music is still the same, the message of God. So that's what I want to do, make people happy, make people feel good, and enjoy
I feel really good.
You're a school bus driver with the district. You might have a new superintendent coming up here
Yes.
who that doesn't believe in diversity and inclusion. Get you off of that bus. Get somebody white driving that bus.
I enjoyed this young lady has a beautiful voice. Anybody who has not heard her before needs to hear her because it's a blessing and a gift from God. And she was outside singing and then tearing it all up.
Thank you. I
But
appreciate it.
what we're doing right here, we're showing that you can disagree without being
Exactly.
disagreeable.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the kind of America that I want to live in. That I don't have to be afraid or challenged or threatened because I dare question people's motivations, and because I cherish my freedom, because I know what it's like to see colored and white signs and to be denied an opportunity to go inside buildings. Now they're talking about diversity and equity and inclusion, and they killed affirmative action, but all those laws were passed because we couldn't get in the door. It was a time we couldn't get inside, you know, and those laws had to be passed just to let us in. And then the top 10 percentile of us got to get in. We had to be the best.
This is one of the big. Do you think Kamala Harris is white or black?
I think it really doesn't matter. And I think it's an insult to her that we will allow Donald Trump to control the discussion about whether she's black enough. I've had people telling me I'm not black enough, and I started a Black History organization. I did that to commemorate Black History Month because that's how much it means to me. People are always going to challenge, you know, how you
look black to me.
Yeah, very black, inside and out, and
Straight
proud
up
of
black
it.
to me, Kunta Kinte black.
I look black and I sound black, don't I?
I'm Kunta Kinte like a mug.
No confusion.
Nobody's ever confused me with not being
no
black
confusion.
enough. They might be talking about your intelligence or something
I've
because they
had
associate
that, you know.
intelligence with white people. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
Give us a little acapella, if you will.
Oh, here you go.
So people would know what everybody talking about. Hit a little note for us. Great Gayla James.
This is no ordinary love. No, no. This is no ordinary love. This is no ordinary love. No ordinary love. No, 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 no.
Where can people get your music? Plug it.
Yes, I'm on all stores, all social media sites. We have CDs out here now, and we have USBs. So go out on all social medias. I'm on Twitter, Apple, Pandora, YouTube, everywhere. So
What do they need to put in the search engine?
Gayla James, Heart and Soul.
There you go. So, ladies, after today's experience out here, as the buses are taking people to the polls, what do you hope comes out of today's experience?
My opinion, I hope that people go out and vote. I don't have no excuses about this person in office, that person in office. Go out and vote and voice your opinion. That is very important. Like Sister Janice said, for years we weren't able to vote. But go out and vote, because that's your right.
Janice, what do you have to say to the Ministerial Alliance of Southwest Florida
And to Faith Florida and to the Lee County Black History Society.
There you go.
I want to thank the three groups for organizing together to encourage people to exercise their constitutional right, to realize how important and what a crossroads we are right now in American history. I hope this kind of event happens on a regular basis.
Yes.
And I'd like to see more community people involved in getting out and being a part of history.
You early voted already?
Actually, I haven't. I plan to vote today. I'm getting on one of those vans and I'm going out.
You already
and
voted
Yeah.
at the polls
Yes.
or mail-in?
I did at
Was
the
it
polls.
easy, pretty quick?
It's very easy now. The computers it's very easy. It's
Just
easier
came
than
up and
last
showed
year.
your driver's license?
Yep.
That's all you had to show?
Yep. You already registered.
Boom, no long line, nothing.
No long line. So
All right then.
And we have an early voting continues through next Saturday. But we're trying to make it convenient for people today if you don't have transportation. And also, if you go during early voting, you don't have to worry about going to your exact precinct location
Oh, you
because
don't?
that's getting more complicated for people now. The only precinct we actually have in the Dunbar community is out at Renaissance, and we're fighting real hard to keep that available, and so that voting will be a little bit more convenient for us. That's an issue that we
They don't have that when they don't have it at Stars Complex anymore?
Yeah, Dr. K. Robinson not open? Wow.
Nope.
Renaissance Preserve. We're about inside that first building.
It's across from an administrative building over there. I'm not sure the name of the building, but they're going to be, but the van is going to take you directly to the location and wait for you after you vote and bring you back here.
Well, we're here at Clemente Park, people, in the heart of the Dunbar community in Fort Myers, Florida. For those who are looking at us around the world on social media, this is the largest African American community in this quadrant of the state of Florida, in Southwest Florida, and it's certainly been a pleasure to come here and talk to the OG and to the new G and see them get into their little tit for tat. Let's get out and vote. Your life depends on it. This is one of the most consequential elections
depends on it too.
in the history of America, as we got a Supreme Court that's functioning as politicians, and we have a president candidate who was a part of the January 6th raid on the White House. Insurrection. Overthrow the government, and he's already talked about he wants to get rid of the Constitution. Man, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln will be rolling over in their graves.
And he's saying it out loud, and people still don't know who they want to vote for. I heard somebody say that I don't know if anybody's a Christian in this election, and I had two thoughts on that. One is that this is America, and we have a lot of different religious groups and religious freedom, and everybody's not a Christian, and that shouldn't be held against them. And the other thing was that, okay, you might not have seen a Christian, but you saw the devil.
Well, you got a lot of people smiling in your face.
You saw the devil.
And you think that they are your friends, but they don't care for you. And all these millions of votes that are going to be voting for Donald Trump, these are people who are smiling in your face, and you think they smile in your face, making you think that they care about you. They vote for Trump, they don't care about you. They want to go back to the way it was in the 1950s.
Actually, they want it to be worse than that, because they want to imprison white people now. You know, their rights are going to be impacted. It's not just going to be black people. It's going to be all of America, because if Trump gets in and gets his minions in to support him, I mean, think about what it was like when he was president, the ineptness, the embarrassment. Every day it was a new crisis. Every day he was trying to steal money from the United States government. Every year we find out how much he overcharged. Think about this. He overcharged the Secret Service to stay in his hotels to protect him and his family members, and charge him about 100%. Isn't that ridiculous?
One of a kind. One
no shame.
Donald Trump.
And people don't know.
I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I am telling you to vote for your freedom. That should tell you. Remember, Miami might have the oranges, but the souls to the polls, 2024, has got the
Juice.
You heard it right here on Lee Pitts Live. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. This is Lee. I'm so glad that you watched that particular show. And if you enjoyed that show, we got other shows like that. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch Lee Pitts Live on demand anytime. And also hit us up on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lee Pitts Live, and there you go.